I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business Renovator. I'm your host, and I'm excited today. The topic is the military mindset behind the six-figure contracts. I'm going to learn. You're going to learn. We're all going to learn. And when we learn more, we can earn more. If you're interested in earning more, stay tuned. We have a wonderful guest that's going to share her knowledge. And as always, if you're here for the first time or long time repeat viewer, just to recap, hashtag replay if you're watching this not live, but if you're here live, if you could like, share, and comment, that would help us, help others get the message that you're going to enjoy. It might even change the course of your life. I can't promise that, but if you don't listen, you'll never know. And if you don't act on the content that you hear, then life will be just normal. You'll just be maybe entertained, but there's more to it than that. I have a shameless plug because that's how I support this platform, to get guests in and share information. So let me get to that and get on with the show. Yeah, it's absolutely free. Complimentary coaching session is available. But before you get there, you might want to just go and do the business growth score at the top of the website I'm pointing at. It's not there, but when you click on the link, it will be there. And it's a self-assessment as to where you are in your business. And you might just be able to pat yourself on the back and go, yeah, I'm crushing it. And that's all you need to do. It just validates what you're up to. However, on the other side of it, you might find there's an area in there that you need a little help with. And you can certainly reach out and have that complimentary coaching session. No strings attached, no conditions, no credit card. See where it goes. And you might even find my guest, somebody you might want to reach out to at the end of the show. You'll have her contact information as well. So either or, you got two for the price of nothing. It doesn't cost anything. So it doesn't get any better than that, does it? So I'm going to get on with the show now. As we talked about, it's a military mindset behind six-figure contracts. So my guest today is a tactical powerhouse who you won't forget. Nikki Gianni is a small business architect, which is trademarked because she's good at what she does, and nobody can do what she does the way she does it. And you're going to find out more about that because she brings 25 plus years of executive leadership from the U.S. military straight into the trenches of entrepreneurship. I love that. Don't you? She helps business owners win and manage lucrative government contracts, solve leadership and personal issues before they cost you, and scale operations with military-grade efficiency. Gotta love that. We break down how small businesses can stop scrambling and start commanding growth. If you're ever overwhelmed, ever happened to you, ever understaffed or underpaid, Nikki's blueprint in this mission is waiting for you. Won't get it all today. This is just a short snippet. But if it resonates with you, you'll be able to engage with her later. We'll provide the contact information how to do that if this does resonate with you or somebody you might know. She doesn't play games. She builds winners. Let's dive in. I'm going to push a button and bring my buddy up here. Welcome to the show, Nikki.
Thank you, Phil. How's it going?
It's going really good. Good.
What an intro. Love it.
Hey, it's easy when you got talented people like you. So if I was to ask you, what's a win that you've had, like in 10 words or less, that you're really proud of, what would that be? I know, trick question.
Client success, doing really well, and loving life a lot more because they're following what I tell them to do.
That's one of the powerful things that happens with having a coach, whether it's a business coach, an athletic coach, or a health coach. How did you get into the crazy, awesome business of coaching?
So after 25 years of working for the Department of Defense, I said enough was enough, and I left. And so I had to figure out something to do. At first, I was thinking about consulting, and I was like, oh, I don't think I want to do that. So I found coaching, and I took a bunch of classes, and then probably almost about a year and a half ago, somebody from Focused approached me and said, hey, you have a great background for a business coach. You interested? And I'm like, oh, maybe. And so here I am. It's been a lot of fun.
Fun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun. Yeah. Isn't that surprising for work? Huh?
I know, right? People have asked me if I'm planning on retiring, and I asked them, why would I retire from something that is fun to do? Why would I take a holiday from it?
Right.
Holidays are not bad. I'm not against taking holidays, but it's not like I have to take a holiday to get away from the grind.
Right.
It's not much of a grind. I mean, yeah, there's some things that are, the minutia of administrativeness that that's not fun to do, but I don't do it all myself anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend who's like, why do you work so much, Nikki?
Yeah.
Because I like it.
Exactly. Well, with Bob Proctor, before he passed, he said those very same words. And to the day he died, he was working and helping people. And he passed in his own home. And I was talking to some people that know him way better than I ever know. And he was at the hospital. He apparently had a fall, and that caused some issues. And he was in the hospital coaching the nurses and the doctors while he was in his bed, still working away, having a great time. But he realized that, his time has come, and he went back to his home and passed there with his friends and family, still working with them from as he was departing.
That's awesome. I love it.
It is. Instead of people working, not that working is a bad thing. I think working is part of it. But if you could have fun along the way, it makes doing the work a lot easier. If you're looking forward to it with anticipation versus trepidation, life's a lot easier, right?
Yes, and I've thought about working that way before, so I don't want to ever think about it that way again.
So let's dig into a little bit of the small business architect. What does that mean to our audience that are watching now or in the replay?
Well, so I really liked the architect viewpoint because they draw everything out and they create a really solid foundation and build up and make something beautiful. So I thought, oh, well, I would love to do that for small businesses as a business coach. So that's where I got it from. And it resonates with people. They like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Thank you.
It's clever. The metaphor is brilliant. But kind of how I came about the business renovator. I wasn't the original originator of the idea, but I had a consultant working with me and was thinking about naming his business the Business Renovator. I said, "Whoa, that's brilliant!" So I wrote it down, and then I saw him moving to a different direction, different naming. So I thought it was so good, I got to buy the URL just in case. So I did that, and then I asked. I said, "Have you given up on the idea of the Business Renovator?" "Yeah, I'm not going to go that way." "Are you sure?" He goes, "Yeah." And I says, "Okay, so can I use it and have it?" He goes, "Yeah." I says, "Good," because I bought it.
That's awesome.
So it's what my branding is about is a business renovator. I don't build any buildings. I don't renovate any buildings, much like you, the architect. I help people find a way to design and create the solutions. I'm imagining that's what you're doing with the architectural metaphor, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I don't do a few different things. I do profit acceleration. So for businesses who know that they have more profit within their business, they just don't know how to find it and get it out of it. Yeah. That's one of my roles. And then the other one is to help them get government contracts if that's something that they're interested in. So,
is that a tough thing to do if you're a business owner on your own wanted to leverage that market or tap into that marketplace. Is that hard to do?
It's not necessarily hard, but it's a lot of work initially. You know, you've got to do some red tape things to get yourself enrolled in the ability to even bid on contracts. And then hopefully you might have the ability to get a certification to give you some preference to get contracts, whether you're a minority, a woman, a veteran, you know, that kind of thing. And if you can get that, that's great. And then you start bidding. But you have to kind of know the tricks of the trade, or else you're going to get discouraged very quickly.
So is that kind of what you specialize in as the small business architect?
Yeah. So I was not planning on doing anything with government contracts again after doing it for 22 years. I was like, I had enough of that. But once people found out about my background, they're like, oh, well, how do you get a government contract? So I would help them and tell them, and I would do it for free. And I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough with this stuff here, you know? So I decided to monetize it. And that's a fairly new thing for me in my business.
So when you were working with a government agency, you were on the other side considering suppliers?
Yeah, all sorts of things. So I've purchased construction, satellite systems, cryptologic systems, services, engineering services, anything you could think of. I bought. I've spent probably about over $20 billion in the 22 years that I was buying and or supervising people who are buying. So yeah, all sorts of stuff. That the government needs everything. So most likely, whatever you sell, they buy.
Right. So I asked that question. It's not a trick question. I want to make sure people understand that you have an inside perspective as to the workings of the government and how they procure product services. So now you're on the other side, being a coach, consultant, maybe, to help people that want to play in that space in terms of providing services and products.
Right. And my competitors, there are not very many, but those who do what I do as well, they're usually on they've been on the contractor side. So they're the ones who have won a bunch of contracts, and so they have experience doing that. I just have it on the other side of the fence. I have it as, you know, the evaluator and the awarder. So I've seen all sorts of different contracts and proposals that most people have not.
Yeah. I would think that would take, that's what I call it, a day and a half off the race. Have you ever heard that story?
No.
It's an Australian station owner, rancher. That's what they call him down under. And his name was Cliff Young. And he would herd sheep by shuffling around the property. He didn't have dogs or an ATV. And so he came to the U.S. No, he did not come to the U.S. I'm getting my stories mixed up. He was in Australia running in an ultra marathon. They thought he was nuts because he came in his wellies, you know, rubber boots and overalls, and he was 60. And they said, "What are you doing here?" Well, I'd like to have a go at running this ultra marathon. And so he actually took a day and a half off the race. How did he do that? He didn't know you're supposed to sleep 8, run 16. He just kept on going. He was so much a day and a half off the race, screwed up the TV show because it was going to end on, say, a Saturday or Sunday. He had already done it, and they were trying to slow him down, but he didn't. So he won that particular race. He went back the next. Oh, he couldn't go back the next year. He had an injury. But just like the 4-minute mile where they knocked it off once Bannister did it, those other professional, more athletic individuals picked up the way he did it, and they broke his record.
Isn't that amazing?
So why do I bring that up? That's a great thought. I'm thinking you were going, wait, where the hell's Phil going with this? I see you as the person that could help your clients that want to play in that space take a day and a half off their own race.
That's the goal. Yeah,
right?
That's definitely the goal.
And so if you can and help people, that's what coaching does generally. Whether you're going to go into government contract bidding, or if you're going to be a small business owner wanting to grow into a larger business where you're able to live the dream that you only thought might be possible, but don't know how to get there. So that's what we don't necessarily have all the answers to get people where they want to get to, right? We help them find it from themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm a trained ICF coach, International Coaching Federation coach, right? And their standard for operating with as a coach is to not give people the answers, but to help them figure it out through asking the right questions. And so I take that philosophy into business coaching as well.
Yeah, I'm not certified there. I know what they're all about. I'm a hybrid. I actually do a little bit of co-gesting versus I'm not telling people what to do, but
Right.
I hear what they're saying and I coach it back to them in a way that they get clarity as to what they're wanting to do, and helping them stay true to what's important to them.
Yeah.
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 And helping them find out what is important to them, right? That's also another aspect.
Yes. Yeah. And having them figure it out for themselves is really fun to watch them do that, just by asking the right questions. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. What about this? What about that? Yeah. Okay. Let's go further with that,
Yeah.
So it's neat.
Well, if it's our own idea, we're probably more excited about it, more likely to do it versus being told.
Absolutely.
I don't think many of us want to be told what to do.
No.
Maybe encouraged, right?
Yeah, maybe encouraged. But yeah, I had a hard time understanding that in the beginning with my classes and stuff. I was like, why would they hire me though? They're hiring me for my expertise, but they're not hiring me to tell them my expertise. They're hiring me to help them figure out their own. So yeah, it took a minute to figure that one out.
Is there a success story that you feel compelled to share without giving all of the inner workings, names of the operators and or businesses, but they had an idea and you helped them get it to come to fruition?
Yeah, I'm sure I could think of something. So I have a client who is an owner of a yoga studio, and he didn't have the money to pay me, right? So I said, well, I need to get some yoga going so we can barter, And he's like, really? And I said, yeah, let's do that, So we started working together, and he's already cut his costs a bunch, and he's increased his prices, so he's making more revenue, and he's got all these new ideas that he's come up with himself on how to advertise, and he even has a government contract now. So yeah, he's been doing really great, and it's fun. It's fun to watch them and just to see their faces a lot brighter than when you started with them. So yeah, and his wife participates too, so that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories is not about increased revenue, but although there was that single mom, 3 kids, one like a pair of twins, one set of twins. She didn't have 4, right? Anyway,
There's like 2 sets of twins.
That's right. One set of twins, which she had a single set of twins. That was enough. Anyway, and in an accounting practice in Canada, and wanted to get out of the cold winter days and grow her practice and feel happier about providing the services that she was providing and live in a tropical location half of the year. So we helped her find ways to increase her revenue, get rid of clients that were killing her energy, that didn't appreciate what she was doing. And 8 months later, she didn't move down to Mexico, but she took temporary residence there for 6 months, hit her goal. But when she was doing that, I learned a couple of years ago, because this happened about 16 years ago, but I just learned last year or the year before. She never told me this. She says, what do you know? You're not a woman. You're not a single mom. How dare you think I can do that? Anyway, she's doing it. I didn't tell her how to do it. I just helped her stay focused on that aspect of her life. And she's been living there full time ever since.
Nice. Good for her.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a part in that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, but I didn't do the work. She did the work.
Yeah.
And the compliment she gave me was there was 2 men in her life, her pastor and Coach Phil, that helped her get there. So to be part of that and help her do that's just fabulous.
Yeah, very good.
I have a love-hate relationship with her because she'd be standing on the beach. And when you're on the beach, you're not, you're in your swimsuit and the palm trees and the blue ocean and her kids are there and it's 40 below here. So I hated her when she posted those pictures, but I loved it because she's living the dream that she thought was the wishy-washy, not possible.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
That's what I like about what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something I could ask you that I haven't asked you that you would like to share? This is not the same thing as I said in the green room. This is just like the aspects of what you're doing. I guess that maybe you could share that I haven't thought of a question to bring it out. Okay.
Well, so I've created a class that's 90 days long that I'm going to be starting soon. At first it was 6 weeks, but then I realized that was way too short. And so this 90-day period, I'm going to teach all these folks how to get ready to bid on a government contract. So I share all the information that they need, how to register, how to get certifications, what different types of contracts are, because there's so many different kinds of contracts, different kinds of bidding processes and stuff like that. So I share all of that with them so that way they're aware of it. And then I help them figure out what they should go after as far their profession, and then how it matches up with the government requirement. And then we hunt for them. And, one of the things a tidbit that I can give your audience right now is if you are looking at a request for proposal advertised, you're too late, most likely. You should be looking at things before the RFP comes out, and when they're asking for information, because the government, they don't have the manpower that you think that they do, even though they've gotten cut. And sometimes they don't have the ability to create the right requirement well. So they'll go out into the world and say, hey guys, can you help us with this? And when you can help them with that, they'll remember who you are. And then they'll be like, oh, well, you have a certain certification and I liked you. So maybe I can do a set aside for that kind of certification, and they will, because that's the goal. It's like 23% of the spend should be small business. And that's like $700 billion a year.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. And and they never not pay. You never have to chase them. Well, maybe a little bit sometimes, but you'll always get your money. But so yeah, that's definitely an important aspect of things, is to know when you should go after something and when it's too late, and depending on the sizes especially. But so gonna teach them how to put a bid together and what they should be looking at when they look at the request for proposal, and hopefully then manage it. Once they get the contract and they know, then I'll teach them how to manage it and go about dealing with the government and their oddities that they like to deal with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like that non-question that asked. That's a really good nugget. So it sounds like it's a lot to do with trust and rapport, and it takes time and effort to prove that you have trust and rapport. Mm-hmm. And speaking to them before the RFP I like that idea. In a previous life, working with government, not military, but government municipals, mm-hmm. I was brought in to be considered for a automated system for police in a particular city. Mm-hmm. And we went through the hoops, spent tons of money putting the presentation together and the quote. And I learned about midway that we should not even be doing it, but I was dictated by my boss that we needed to go do this. Mm-hmm. They were doing the RFP process so that they could justify staying with the incumbent. And how I know that, it's funny how the dots connect, as Steve Jobs says, you can't join them going forward. I ended up being roommates and best friends with the incumbent later on in life. And that's how I found out that it was just, we never had my spidey senses says we don't have a hope in heck of getting it, so why spend the money? Let's cut our losses and go support them. Yeah. So what I like about what you're saying is it's really important that if you've got a foot in the door before the RFP comes out, you've got a better chance of being considered seriously.
Absolutely.
Like we spent $250,000 to put together a proposal for. It was a big deal, but yeah,
Wow.
so we had people from Australia, the U.S. It was just asinine. We should not have done it. So,
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. And so also the incumbent most likely will win. You know,
yeah,
that's
and they did, right?
yeah.
Right.
Unless they're not performing and they've gone bankrupt or something, you know, they're going to probably win again because they have the competitive advantage.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, that needs to be taken into
Those are
consideration.
kind of the minefields you can help people walk through, right, without getting blown up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think I want to share how people can get. Well, I don't think I know I'm going to share. I'm going to put up a screen here. Right up now, it's coming up right here. Oh, I fibbed. Here it comes. And I'm on your website first. And to help people find you, I'm going to make it easy because the little highlight just so this is hard to read. So I'll make it a lot easier with a magnifying glass approach.
There you go. Oh, wow. That's much better.
Yeah, way easier, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of stuff in here. You've got services, you're a coach, speaking, free stuff, events, blog, contact schedule. Could probably do you have a complimentary offer that people could come in and get to know you a little bit better?
Absolutely. I have a book that's available, and it's nikkigianni.com/free-book.
Okay.
And you can grab one.
And they can do a deeper dive and look at this site here themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just scrolling down a little bit better. Look at that. Let's talk about scaling your business. So lots of things that you could go and check out with Nikki, some feedback from people that have worked with her.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of stuff. Now what I want to do is, where's a quick and easy way to connect with you? Well, wait, we've got that too. It's right here. This is where did it go? Nikki?
I don't know.
It's a blank page.
It went poof.
It's refresh. There we go. LinkedIn. There we go. It was just teasing us, right?
Yes. There's the book.
Oh, you got a QR code for the book right there?
Yeah.
And there's a cover of the book right there.
Uh-huh.
And hit the bell. What's the hit the bell? Oh, never mind. I know what that is. And I'm following you. You can book an appointment with Nikki right there. And I can message you. I see we have a couple of people in common. I know Jerry too.
Yeah, we have to connect.
Yeah.
We're not connected already, Phil.
Yeah, I think maybe because all the options here are following. It's LinkedIn, you know. You can either follow or connect, and I don't think connect was an option. Anyway, we're connected. I know where you're at. I know.
Yeah, we see each other enough.
Yeah, exactly. If there was something you would want to impart on our audience, like a nugget and a gem, what would that be?
Don't give up. If you want something, go and get it. With government contracts, it's the same as with anything, or with your business. There's a lot of red tape sometimes, but it's worth it. And if you find somebody that can help you get through it faster, you'd be better off. But even if you can't, it's still definitely worth it. There's books out there that you can find, and I'm writing one to help you along with that. So yeah, don't give up. It's because, you know, my ex-husband used to call the government the gravy train. And so once you get on the gravy train, you don't have to get off, and it's really a good situation. So figure out how to get on it and you'll be doing good.
Awesome. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
There's something about the show that I really dislike.
What is that?
It ends.
Oh, yes.
I know. It ends. So I'm going to say thank you for being a great guest, sharing a few nuggets about what you can do for people who are looking to get into the government contract space. And I'm sure you offer other things in addition to that. But like you said, it's only a 28-minute show, really. So, they know how to get hold of you, website and LinkedIn. And yeah, I will, again, thanks for being here and sharing some of your knowledge. I know you have way more than what we could just.
Thank you so much for having me, Phil. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. And we'll see you shortly.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Okay, so I gotta just say, if you didn't get sparked up by that, well, check your pulse. She just handed you some tactical ideas that most people, businesses, pay consultants thousands of to figure out. I would encourage you that if this resonates with what you're about and what you're trying to do, jump in, have a conversation, follow her, connect with her, go to her website, do all those things. Because why not take a day and a half off your own race? Just saying. So if you're ready to lead with precision, grow with confidence, profit like a pro, replay this episode, share it with your fellow business owners, and let us know what you're going to apply it to first. And remember, you don't need more hustle, you need more smarter blueprint. And my favorite thing to do is bring this little gem up and point at it with the right finger. Is the right finger, but this is the correct one. The you and wonderful represents you. You're unique and you're truly wonderful. So continue acting like your wonderful, unique self. Till next time, I'm your host, Coach Phil. Much success to you.
I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking